it's me again. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel, where I'm consistently inconsistent, and that is the only consistent thing about me. Now, today, since I don't have any drama in my own life, I decided, let me just go talk about other people's drama. Yeah, I'm on Reddit, and not just any Reddit, I am on Am I the A-hole, because hopefully one day I get monetized for my videos, so I can't just start saying curse words right off the bat. But yeah, I'm on Am I the A-hole subreddit, and I found a really juicy story. So let's just get into it. Am I the a-hole for not planning a second wedding to cater to my father? Okay, before I go into the story and we hear it, I want you to type down below, do you think she is the a-hole? Or wait, is this a boy or a girl? Never specified. So are they the, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I don't think it, yeah, this OP never specify. Yeah, this OP never specified their gender, so I'm just gonna go with they. Okay, so type down below, do you think they are the a-hole or they're not the a-hole? Buckle up, it's a long ride. My father and I have been no contact for at least 5 years now. Long story short, his wife, I refuse to call her my stepmother, was terrible to me my entire childhood. She controlled every aspect of his life and brainwashed him into thinking I was an evil, malicious person. Well, from the time of no contact up until last year, I had assumed he and his wife had moved back to our home state 1,000 miles away. Last year, out of nowhere, his wife texted me and invited me to Easter dinner. Surprise! They still live in the same state and town as me. I went to the Easter dinner, figured we would rebuild our relationship. Fast forward to this week, my fiance and I have settled on a date and destination for our wedding. We are going to get married 5 hours away from where we live because that's where most of my family and his family live now. Ooh, wedding planning. Now, here's the thing. It looks like they gave OP an olive branch. And this OP is kind of jumping through time. So, like, some OPs will, like, give you step-by-step, play-by-play. And this OP is like, nah, I went to that dinner, and then I guess nothing really happened because they didn't really talk about it anymore. But it was important enough to mention. That's how I would be as a writer, to be honest. If I was writing on Reddit, I would like mention things, but I wouldn't go in depth with it because honestly, I can't remember every single little detail. That's just too much work. Okay, so I had gone back and forth debating whether or not to invite my father because I figured he wouldn't come anyway and didn't want to deal with this disappointment. My sister essentially guilt-tripped me into inviting him, saying he would never miss my wedding. He isn't that shitty. He attended both of my other sister's weddings, since I'm already invited his whole side of the family, who all live 30 minutes from the wedding destination. I said screw it, and then extended an invitation to him and his wife. Fair enough, because, like, give him, I know you don't want to deal with the rejection, but you gotta send it out there. Even, like, if you were no contact and you genuinely are no contact, then yeah, don't invite him. But if you're working on your relationship and you're inviting his entire family, it's up, I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's your choice. But for me, I don't think I could invite his entire family and not invite him, because that just seems even worse. And I think that would just send us 5 steps back. So they got peer pressured into it. I mean, they still ultimately invited them, because honestly, if you didn't want them around, you wouldn't be around them. So, but yeah, I agree with the sister, but also I didn't appreciate her peer pressuring their brother, their sibling. Jeez, it's so hard to talk. Oh, why do I keep wanting to gender things? That is not ally of me, okay? Stop trying to gender this person that didn't provide their gender. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's why I thought of it. After a few days of no response, his wife calls me. Because, of course, I think they meant of course, but they put P instead of O. So I didn't know what to do with that. So, okay, let me start. Of course, he wouldn't call me himself and tells me my father will not be attending due to the fact I invited my Grams, his mother, who I always had a good relationship with, and he refused to be around her. His wife then proceeds to give me excuse after excuse of how terrible my Grams treated him and how it would be detrimental for him to be in the same vicinity as her. I was heartbroken. She then told me how malicious and selfish of me it was to plan a wedding at the destination and invite Grams because I was setting up my father, forcing him to see her. Sometimes I can't read. Let me read that again. She then told me how malicious and selfish of me it was to plan the wedding at that destination and invite my Grams because I was setting my father up, forcing him to see her. Yeah, that's just how I wrote it. My brain was trying to make it make sense for me to say, but like, you know, not bashing the OP on their writing skills. I'm pretty sure that it looks like it's grammatically correct. It's just my brain can't read it properly. Like, it's more conversational writing, if that makes sense. And my brain sometimes gets tripped up on that. So it's not the OP. I'm not saying that they can't write. I'm just saying that my brain can't follow conversational writing, speaking out loud, easier than writing professionally. I don't know. I guess my brain is just pretentious. I don't know. This now brings us to her compromise. Why don't I plan a second wedding where we live and don't invite my Grams so he can attend? Lol. Like, with whose money? Are you gonna pay for it? Because the weddings are expensive and very, very, very time consuming. So if you're not going to plan and pay for the second wedding, there will be no second wedding. That's what I would do. Like, if you want to throw me a second wedding, throw me a second wedding. But if you're not paying for me, and you want me to throw a second wedding, but you're not contributing not a dime, and telling me what to do and who I can get invite, girl, get out of here. Essentially, I'm supposed to rearrange all of my plans and compromise to cater to my father and his needs, rather than him compromise and be around my Grams for a few hours. So, AITA for not planning a second wedding the day before my real wedding. The day before? Bruh. Don't you know that you guys got rehearsal dinner and all that stuff the day before your wedding? You don't have time. Oh my gosh. Okay. I can see why you don't talk to the wife. I can see why you don't talk to the wife, because that will make me crash out. I'd be like, what are you? The day before? Not like a week or a couple of weeks after I get back from my honeymoon. No, you want the day before my actual wedding, which is 5 hours away. No, get out of here. And after I declined the compromise, his wife then proceeded to have a hissy fit and tell me he would come if he has to, but make sure to let me know how miserable he would be the entire time. Needless to say, I revoked my original invite to them, blocked them both, and have gone no contact with them again. Wow. You're standing 10 toes on business. That's crazy. And your dad, I don't know if the stepmom went rogue or if your dad genuinely feels this way. I really hope it's the stepmom who went rogue, because if not, that'd be really, really crummy. But if it is how the dad feels, like, bruh, don't talk to grandma. Like, you don't have to spend time with grandma. Why are you going to let this person ruin my fun? You know, like, if you don't like this person, you don't have to spend time with them, but don't let them ruin your joy and your fun. And I mean, like, now you're missing out your child's wedding. Jeez. Okay, there's one more edit by OP too. Edit. My Grams was also at my sister's weddings that he attended, so I know it's just an excuse not to come. I've always been treated differently than my sisters and then outcasted by my father and his wife, but had hopes now that after so many years we could reconcile. Wow, OP. That's crazy that you had to go through that. Hey, got the comments to come up. Haha, yeah! See, because I don't give up. That's perseverance, baby. Anyway, top comment. I want you to take some time and think this through. You were estranged from your father for 5 years. Why do you think you accepted that Easter invite? And can you explain how it is that you thought oh Jesus, can I read? Anyway, and can you explain how it is that you thought your father lived in another state for 5 years when he never moved? I'm asking you these things because I suspect that you've been trying to force an imaginary view of this relationship where it just does not exist. Also, why do you think that your father's wife called? It doesn't sound like to me like you should be picking up for her. You mentioned that your father attended 2 of your sister's weddings and that you invited him because of family pressure. Why do you think your sister pressured you to invite him without telling you that he refuses to be in the room with his mother? That is bizarre and a cruel way to undermine your sibling and set them up for distress. Of course, you are an NTA for planning a single wedding. The guy who's practically a stranger to you and his wife, who you can't stand, are not in any position to make demands. It seems to me that your life was better before you accepted the Easter invite. Don't you think? Okay, and this comment has a response from OP. Agreed 100. I swear I can talk. Anyway, agreed 100%. Before I went no contact, he and his wife had been discussing moving back to our home state. I accepted the Easter invite because my sister had called me and invited me as well. I had hopes to rebuild relationship because he still has a relationship with the other 2. He's only ever communicates to me through his wife. Needless to say, I think the entire situation is, again, simply an excuse and a way for them to feel better about themselves for making a shitty decision not to come. Yep, this is the commenter. Yep, have a wonderful wedding without him. I mean, honestly, I would wish OP the same. NTA, but I'm curious why you went from being guilted by your sister into inviting dad to being heartbroken by his not attending. Response from OP. He attended both of their weddings that my Grams also attended. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Silly me. Wow. Oh, another commenter said, I suspect that it's his wife that has the problem with Grams and not your father. Still would keep non-contact and not cater to her. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, LP. It seems like you made a good choice just to cut your losses. It sounds like your dad doesn't really want a relationship with you, because if he's still able to have a relationship with the other the sisters, but you're the problem, it just, I don't know. Like, it's just like, I feel like that relationship is just, I think you can come back from it. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that I don't think the work should be on you to make that relationship work. Honestly, he should be, taking up the majority of the slack when it comes to this relationship, because he's the one that let it get damaged. And maybe the other sisters were just able to hide their frustration with the stepmother. Maybe the stepmother showed favoritism to the other sisters compared to you and disliked them better and made it difficult for you to, live life in that house. Like, I don't know what your backstory is or what your deal is, but you made the right decision for you, and you are NTA because person, it couldn't have been me. I would not have invited that person to my wedding. I would not invite those people to my wedding. I would have just got married and been happy. I would have just only invited the people that mattered to me and the people that wanted to be there and support me. Those are the only people I would have invited. Just gonna be honest. But, it's just like sometimes You want to, because it's hard, especially when it comes to family. Like, it's just like, you want to make it work, you know? You want to make it work. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to meet them where they are, and either you can meet them where they are and accept that they will never change and that you just put up with it, or learn to live with it, or you leave them where they are. Go about your life, live your life, have a great time, and if they ever try to change and be better, maybe you can come back to it, but if not, don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty. Go and enjoy your life. Life is too short to waste on people that don't value or respect you. Yeah, but I wish OP nothing but the best. I hope they have a fabulous wedding and surrounded by love and support and family and friends. Anyway, that's all I have for y'all today. Let me know if there's any other Reddits you want me to go check out, because there's plenty of Reddits I have checked out that I really like, but I'm not going to go through all of that today because it's going to take like 2 hours for me to go through all my favorite Reddits. But if you have any other Reddits you would like to recommend me, let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give your girl some love, because I'm a performer at heart, and working this regular 9 to 5 ain't for me. So if y'all can help me get to a place where I can just pump out content and be able to see myself, I would greatly appreciate that. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. Goodbye.